Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazele had their final stare down and weigh-in live from the Barclays Center for their epic heavyweight clash tomorrow night for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. Let's get right into this one, guys. So, after weeks of backing and forth in and chatting a whole load of shit from Dominic Breazele and a bit of trash talking from Deontay Wilder, we have a fight. Both men have weighed in and they look like they've both come through the drugs testing, unlike Anthony Joshua's fight. And we're going to have a cracker here. As much as people want to chat shit about Dominic Breazele, out of Fury, Wilder and Breazele, out of Fury, Wilder and Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder is actually fighting the best opposition. Anthony Joshua is fighting the fat postman. Tyson Fury is fighting a guy that nobody had ever heard of before. And Deontay Wilder is fighting a guy who's legitimately top 10. I think actually to this day, Dominic Breazele is either ranked 10th or 9th in BoxRec. So, while people wanted to chat shit about Deontay Wilder fighting bums, for the last 18 months, he's fought the best opposition out of the top 5 or top 3 heavyweights. So there's nothing you can really say. Anthony Joshua is fighting a big fat slob from a kebab shop. And as I said, Tyson Fury is fighting the fifth best heavyweight from Germany. So 2018, Wilder fought the best opposition out of the 3 of them. 2019, he's starting off where he left off. Let's get into this one. Dominic Breazele, he doesn't like Wilder. This is a personal fight, and this is what's going to make this fight even more sweeter. I don't think this fight is going to see the distance. In fact, I know this fight ain't going to see the distance. If I'm Deontay Wilder, I'll be looking at this fat tub of lard and I'll be trying to get him out as quickly as possible. Dominic Breazele, in his defense, he actually did look at a career best in terms of body shape. He still looks fat and he still looks out of shape. And I still don't understand how you can be a professional athlete and still come to the ring fat and out of shape. But, I guess when you're a heavyweight, you don't have to make weight, so you can do whatever you want to. But yeah, he looked like he was in better shape than he did when he fought Anthony Joshua back in June of 16. So, nearly 3 years down the line, let's see exactly what Dominic Breazele has really achieved and what he's improved on. He's only fought 3 times since he lost to Anthony Joshua, knocking out Izu Agono, making Eric Molina retire on his stool. And he also had that really hard fight just before Christmas against Carlos Negron, where I believe he was actually floored in that fight. This is a fight that Dominic Breazele desperately wants and desperately needs. The reason why Dominic Breazele has been so inactive is because he was listed as the mandatory for the WBC Championship back in November 14. The reason why he only fought 1 fight, and which was a bit of a knockover fight, which was the 10-rounder against Negron, is because he believed he was going to get his mandatory shot against Deontay Wilder. So I think he was sort of sitting down, waiting his time in line. But that obviously didn't happen. Deontay Wilder took a voluntary against Luis Ortiz, and then he was granted another voluntary against Tyson Fury. He was supposed to fight Fury again, but Fury bailed out. So let's get back to today and present. May 18th at the Barclays Center. May 19th, if you're like myself, tuning in from the UK, live on Sky Sports. This is a fight that you cannot afford not to watch. I believe the fight will take place sometime around 3 to 4 a.m. UK time. Couldn't tell you about the American time. Dominic Big Fat Breazele, he steps on the scales at 255 pounds. He does look like he's lost a little bit of body fat, I'll give him that, but he still does not look like a supreme athlete. When you think of the likes of your Deontay Wilders, your Joe Joyces, you think of your likes of your Joe Joyces, your Anthony Joshuas, people that actually lived the life, even to an extent Luis Ortiz, even at 40. Dominic Breazele, he's just a joke. And he's going to get sparked out. For me, this fight ends in knockout or stoppage. Deontay Wilder. And, if Anthony Joshua took him out in 7, I reckon Wilder's going to want to try and do it in 6 or less to send a message. Deontay Wilder, he comes in and he looks like a man on a mission. Deontay Wilder has been shooting in the gym. This is a guy who has definitely packed on some muscle mass. I saw a couple of pictures on his Instagram recently, and you can definitely tell he's really been sort of working to sort of bring his body weight back up. His last two fights, he was fighting at career lows of 214 and 212 pounds respectively. In fact, the Tyson Fury fight, is rumoured that Deontay Wilder in his ring walk came to the ring at 209 pounds. He hasn't got to worry about that because he's packed on a lot of muscle and he is looking very fucking hench. Deontay Wilder came in at 223 and a quarter pounds, and this is definitely going to be the difference maker. He's going to have a lot more sort of muscle mass behind those punches, and when he hits Dominic Breazele, Breazele's going to stay hit. If Deontay Wilder had this sort of muscle mass behind him when he fought Tyson Fury, I don't think Tyson Fury would have got back up in that 12th round. But, you know, when he's taking punches from a man of 209 pounds, you know, maybe the punches weren't hurting as much as they possibly could. I think Deontay Wilder's plan is to slowly but surely put the muscle mass back on and get back up to where he was at his career highest, which I think was about 231 or 232. For when he eventually does fight Anthony Joshua, he's got as much power behind his punches as possible. So don't be surprised if you see Wilder's weight just sneaking up for every fight until this undisputed fight happens, if it ever happens. For me, I'm sticking exactly the same. Dominic Breazele is going to get knocked out. It's a question of when, if not if, this fight does not see the final bell. Dominic Breazele can chat as much rubbish about Wilder's boxing technique and whatever. Breazele doesn't have a technique himself. Breazele's style of defense is blocking punches with his face, and he is going to pay. All the shit that happened with Wilder's brother and all that other stuff, Dominic Breazele is going to take an ass whooping like no other tomorrow. Mark my words. All the haters that are saying that Breazele is going to win this title fight, absolute bollocks. I'm telling you, Wilder walks in and walks out the champion. I said that to all my friends when he fought Tyson Fury, and regardless of what you believe the outcome, Deontay Wilder walked in and out the champion. He's doing the exact same, and then he'll fight Luis Ortiz later on in the summer. That's my prediction. That's the end of the show. Let me know how you think is going down. Did you watch that weigh-in? Do you think that Wilder's looking hench? Do you think that Wilder's going to spark him out? Do you think Breazele's got a chance? Leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe. That's the end of the show because Rem Star says so.